Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we're going to do an unboxing and review of something I've been waiting for a very long time. Let's get this package open and see what we've got. Again, I've been waiting for this. I think it's really going to help out my YouTube channel. What we have here, everyone, is the GoPro Hero8 Black. This isn't my first GoPro camera. I've got a GoPro Hero Session 5, the little cube. It's been great to wear my motorcycle. I did a lot of my original YouTube videos with it. I would use my phone to see what the camera was seeing, since the GoPro Session doesn't have a back screen. It's a good little camera, but this camera has got a lot of great new features. The GoPro Hero8 Black is a 12 megapixel camera. It's got really good clarity. It's a full 4K, 60 frames per second. It is waterproof down to 33 feet just the way it comes. No case needed to be added. And one of the things I'm really excited about for my YouTube channel is the fact I can live stream at 1080p from the camera to the GoPro app on my phone. It's going to be awesome for motorcycle rides to live stream 1080p. One of the other new features of the GoPro 8 is this Hypersmooth 2.0. Supposedly it can make really smooth video during rough conditions, and you're really going to like that feature, I believe, especially on a motorcycle. The GoPro Hero 8 has a lot of the same features as the previous versions of GoPro. It uses a newer battery, though. It's the same shape, and I believe there is some compatibility forward and reverse. But to get the full features of your GoPro Hero 8 with the Hypersmooth and some of those higher level features, you're going to need that GoPro battery with the blue base on it. That's has encoding in it that tells it that that battery is capable of the high amp draw that this camera is going to need to do those higher end features. Like I mentioned earlier, the GoPro Hero 8 is 12 megapixel, and not only is it 4K at 60 frames per second, it's 1080p at 240 frames per second, which is crazy good. It also has 8 times slow-mo. The Hypersmooth 2.0 is going to be it's such an advanced image stabilization. You're really going to like it, especially if you're using it for adventure photography, motorcycle. You're really going to like that. It does have Time Warp 2.0, and that's an advanced feature you can check into. 1080p live streaming, again, that's something I'm just really excited about. Has a live burst feature, super photo plus HDR, raw image capability. That has the swivel mount, the GoPro mount built into the camera itself. I'll show you that, and it's in metal. You're going to like that. It does have voice activation and a touchscreen backlit display. You're really going to like that as well. Again, it's 33 feet waterproof down to 10 meters, and it does have GPS built into the camera. Without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox our GoPro Hero 8 Black. I've watched videos of people trying to get this camera out of the box, and it's hilarious sometimes because GoPro they really do something special with their packaging. But this you'll see what happens. So I slide out the GoPro. There we go. That's pretty awesome. And of course this is just all trash. You know, the plastic covers so you can see what you're getting in the machine. So. Beautiful camera, beautiful camera. We're going to leave the camera up here for now. Let's open the box and see what's inside. Get this open here. Okay. See what all is packaged within the camera. There we go. So we are going to get a USB-C cable for charging and data transmission. We've got that special GoPro blue base battery. This is again an advanced high amp draw battery that's coded for the GoPro Hero 8. We've also got a helmet 3M sticker base mount. So this is what you'll put on your helmet to attach your GoPro, and we'll show you again how to do that in just a second. Continue to open everything up here. We've got, of course, a very large and thick instruction manual. Set that off to the side, and I believe that is all within the packaging here. Oh, we have warranty and all the disclaimers and everything. You know, talk to GoPro before taking it back to where you get it, that type of thing. And registration cards, and we have the quick how-to setup. I was mentioning the quick how-to setup. Of course, that's this card here that comes in the box. And you can see it's just a simple procedures. It says download the GoPro app to your phone if you haven't already done so. And it'll show us how to disassemble the camera from this packaging base here. Now you're going to want to keep parts of it. I'll show you. You don't want to throw away that whole base. There's parts you need to keep and parts you need to throw away. There's a picture that says throw away or recycle, and it doesn't mean the whole base there. So I'll show you that here in just a second. On the quick setup, first thing it tells you to do is install the GoPro app on your phone. And it shows you how to take the camera off the base. And there's parts on there you want to keep and parts you want to throw away for the packaging of it. A lot of people think that the recycle icon means to throw that whole piece away, and you don't. There's parts you want to keep on there so you can put it on your helmet. That saves you some money of having to buy extra features. Third thing on the setup is how to open the access door and install the battery. Again, the access door allows it to stay 100% waterproof, down to 33 feet. And then it shows you how to install the USB-C cable onto the camera. Again, keeping it waterproof. Shows you where the power button is and where the button is to turn on and off the machine. And then the final step of it again is showing you how to install your quick release on your helmet. Of course, this is curved for the helmet. It's 3M sticker, so it stays on very, very well. Peel that off. You can put it on the top of your helmet. You can put it on the side of your helmet. A lot of people put it on the chin of your helmet. Works great for hiking, climbing, biking, motorcycles, all of those outdoor adventure activities. And then I'll show you how the clip attaches into the base. Now let's get the camera off the packaging base. So first thing I want to do is take out the screw. Take that out, slide it all the way out, make sure you keep that. Got the camera off. I'm going to set this off to the side for now. So this base, these are really good GoPro branded bases. So it comes with this plastic piece that's stuck right in there. Okay, I'm going to take this off this packaging base first so you can see what I'm talking about. So you lift this you lift this rubber dampener up out of there. Will allow you to squeeze these fingers together. Now that comes off this, and you can dispose of this. I've never had any use for this. This base here is attached to this plaque. Some people keep them for they're cheap enough to buy online, so I throw that away. This is the rubberized adapter base GoPro provides. Now in the shipping materials, there's this little piece here, and this is a part you're going to throw away. What it does, it keeps the GoPro from swiveling during transport. So we're going to take this off, and it just pops off like that. This is the part you're going to throw away. Don't need that. Keep this. So now that we have this piece here, what this allows you to do is slide this piece into your helmet base. Lift your rubber vibrator off. There you go. And you slide that down. And that rubber, the ones with the rubber here, the GoPro brand, does really help in dampening vibration, I think. So now that we've got our base set up and ready, I'm going to show you how to put the GoPro Hero8 Black on your base. The GoPro Hero8 base adapter is made very, very smartly. I love this setup. Okay, on the very bottom of it, there are two little wings. And what you do is you stick your finger under here, pop out the wings, and there is your base to mount to your adapter. And these are metal. They're not plastic. They're going to break. And they're magnetic. They actually are magnetized to pop back under the GoPro, so they won't pop out during if you have it in a case or if you're just transporting. So, and they've also got little grooves your fingers can get in, so you can open it very, very easily. So those pop out, and now we can put this on our base, slide that through, slide those two in the grooves, make sure you get it in there right. Okay, get those in the groove. You slide your screw in. Once you got the base adapter in the out position, turn your camera around, get your base, and you just slide it down in the grooves. You just got to keep them together there. Slide it down in the grooves. There we go. Now we're going to put our screw in. Put the screw in the hole on this side. Slide it in. Tighten it. You can see here, slide it in, tighten it. And now our base for our camera is set up perfectly. Looking a little closer at the camera, I'm going to show you how to open the access door. So on the opposite side of the lens is the access door. And all you do is you use your finger, pull up on this end piece here, you'll see red. Red means you're not protected, water can get in. So red, pull out, and then slide the access door open. Very, very simple. Now to insert your battery, there is only one way this battery can go in properly, but unfortunately the battery will go in both ways. It won't work all the way and you won't be able to close your access door, but it will waste you some time. So what you want to do is the battery goes in, there's the large piece of blue here, it goes in towards the base. I don't know if you can remember it that way. One thing you can do also is on this black piece here and this blue piece here, you can take a Sharpie and make a line. And that'll tell you which end to line up. So if your line's here and your line's here, you're right. If your line's missing, you're wrong. So that's how you know. You slide the battery in all the way, and it should go all the way flush like that. Now, there's this little tab that hangs on the battery, and that you can pull the battery out with that because it does go in very, very deep. So once you get your battery in there, close it down. You got to push securely on the door. Push securely on the door. Lower that till there's no red, and you'll know you are waterproof and you are closed. One of the first things you're going to want to do with your GoPro Hero 8 is buy screen protectors, in my opinion. You want to get a tempered glass screen protector for the front lens, the front display, and the back display as well. One of the reasons for that is with the GoPro Hero 8, the ability to change out the front lens glass has been taken away. There's no screws, there's no plate to remove there. You have to send it in to get that glass replaced. That does make it much more waterproof, and you don't get condensation forming under the glass there. So they made improvements in that respect, but you need to protect it because it is not replaceable by yourself very easily. To turn on your GoPro, well, let's see if it has any battery charge in it. Here's your power button on this end. You just push that down. The GoPro beep, beep, beeps and powers up, and you can see we've already got a really nice, pretty picture there of my family right here on the desk. And it looks great. We're going to select English. Again, it's touchscreen, English. It says, by using the GoPro, I agree to the terms and condition. I do. Captures the location where your video, and that's the GPS. Don't want to use the GPS. I'm going to leave that on for now. I'll tell you why you might want to turn that off in the future here in just a second. Okay? Install the GoPro app on your phone, leave your camera on, and follow the app instructions. Now, it's probably going to do some firmware updates, and that has a lot to do with that. So, and it gives you information there. Okay, are you sure? Connect your camera to the GoPro app. Lets you easily transfer, edit, and share your media. Okay, that's how you continue this setup. I've already got the app on my phone. Let me go ahead and get that out. Let's open the GoPro app on my iPhone. Open my cameras. Here's my GoPro app. Now I'm going to want to set up this camera new, so I hit the little camera icon at the bottom. And I've got a new camera, so I want to hit the plus. Here's my old GoPro session right there. But I'm going to hit the plus for the GoPro Hero 8. It's searching for cameras right now. We found your GoPro. Connect to camera, so it's awesome. I want to pair with a Bluetooth, yes. The camera just beeped and is accepting the transmission. It is connecting. Now that we've connected our GoPro to our phone, we're going to control our camera. And we have to update the firmware. Accept and continue. Okay, and it says the battery level is a little bit low at 22%. There's no micro SD card in there, so it needs a micro SD card to update. So we're going to have to install a micro SD card. And it says there's not enough space. Again, there's no micro SD card. So that's something to think of before you're ready to use your GoPro. You have to go out and make sure you have a micro SD card because it does not come with one. So let's go ahead and get that installed. What I have here is a GoPro Hero Session 5. It's been my trusty go-to for adventure photography for a long time now. You can see the size dimension differences. It is much shorter, narrower, but again does not have a back screen. It's awful thick though. It's actually thicker from front to back than my GoPro Hero 8. And the weight differences, it's amazing how light the new GoPro Hero 8 is. And the GoPro Hero 8 is much smaller than the GoPro Hero 7. We're going to take out the micro SD card from my GoPro Hero session. Get that out of there. I'll show you how that goes in and out. You've probably seen that before. This is a SanDisk Extreme 128 gig SD card. It has really high transfer rates that keep the temperature of the camera down and store a lot of good data. I'm putting in the SanDisk Extreme 128 gig micro SD card for its ability to transfer data very, very quickly, but I've also got a bunch of the SanDisk Ultra micro SD cards, and these transfer at 100 Mbps. The Extreme is even faster. To install the micro SD card, again, I open the side access port, and then the SD card installs on the right side. Slide that down, give it a click, and it is installed. Before we update the firmware, we're going to need to make sure we charge the battery, or at least we have it on external power. You do not want to lose power while you're updating the firmware. That could be a very bad thing. So we're going to install the USB-C cable. So I'll open the side access port. The USB-C cable is bi-directional, so it can go in either way, and it installs right at the very bottom port there. Slide that in. You got to keep the door open while it's plugged into the power. Now I want to show something. If you're going to be keeping an external device plugged into your camera while in use, this side door does come off. You can just pull that right off like that, and make sure you do not lose this. This is something you definitely don't want to lose. You want to make sure you keep up with that. Put it someplace. I'm going to go ahead and put it right back on the camera. Now that we've got the USB-C cable plugged into our laptop, charging the camera externally, we're going to make sure that battery is fully charged before we update the firmware. You don't want to lose power to your camera when you're updating the firmware, or the software on board can become corrupt. We let the camera charge sufficiently to install the firmware. We installed the firmware. It didn't take very long, and now we're ready to go through some of the settings. Again, I'm going to open the GoPro app, and we're going to connect to control the GoPro. It is connected, and then when it comes up, you're going to see this window right here. So we can enable preview, which will allow us to see what the camera sees. Want to join the network? Yes. We see the preview mode. Of course, you can turn it widescreen or portrait, or landscape or portrait. And when you're scrolling through the settings or the system setup, you can scroll this left and right. This is something that's not intuitive, by looking at the app. But so from here we have time warp, standard, photo, and then my new favorite feature is set up live. That's how you go stream live from your GoPro. Now up to the top you'll see power, the settings wrench, the battery, your Wi-Fi settings, and your GPS location, and your memory card status. And you can turn on and off preview. So we're going to click the wrench, get into our settings. So voice control I've got turned off. Voice control language is English. Beeps are high. I'm going to set those to low. The LEDs, I'm going to keep LEDs all on for now, because when I'm on my motorcycle, I like to be able to see in my mirrors the lights flashing. That helps me know whenever it's recording, because sometimes I mess up when I'm pushing the button. But if you're wanting to save battery usage, it's very recommended to turn off the beeps and turn off the LEDs if you're trying to save battery, if you're recording in a long-term situation like hunting or a school play or something like that. Also, having the light on can intimidate people you're recording. So turning the front LED off can really help get people in your frame of view to act naturally. So I would suggest turning the LED off in a situation when you're filming people. Quick capture is on. A quick capture allows the phone to stay in pretty much on or boot mode. That way it doesn't take so long for it to power up. Again, this can be turned off to save the battery if you're going to be using it off for a long time, and then you want to turn it on and you have a second or two to get things set up. But if you're on the go and you want to be able to record quickly, having a quick capture on really helps get the camera rolling to capture those things that happen quickly at the sacrifice of battery. Default preset is last used. Auto off is 15 minutes. Screensaver is 1 minute. Auto lock is off. LCD brightness, that's for the screen. The orientation is all, so it auto-rotates. GPS is on. Now, GPS is a cool feature. It tells you where you're recording and all that good information. But again, it's at the sacrifice of battery. If you don't need GPS information, turn it off and you'll get a lot longer battery life. English is the language. Auto flicker is 60 Hertz. Video compression is the most compatible. And of course you have high efficiency and most compatible. We'll leave it at the default. You can set the date and time. It is done. And we'll scroll on up. You can delete last file off your SD card, delete all files from the SD card, and you see your version. And you can locate your camera if you're disconnected from it. And you can use with the current Wi-Fi remote. It also shows your battery level and your SD card capacity. There you go. We have 1 hour and 51 minutes at our current settings. We have no photos, and we can take a 21,599 photos in that situation. Again, or 1 hour and 51 minutes of video on this 128 gig card set to the settings we're at now. Alright, so that's all our basic settings. We're going to leave everything the way it is there. Now, if you want to change your video settings, we'll show you how to do that. Now to set up our video. If you click Standard at the bottom, and you click the little pencil right there, you can see our resolution is 1080, and you have choices of 1080 up to 4K and everything in between. Your frames per second is 24 up to 240. Again, that's all based on the resolution you pick. If I change 4K resolution, you'll see my frames per second choices are 24, 30, and 60. We lose the 240 capability. So let's go back to 1080, and you'll see our choices for lens: narrow, linear, wide, and super view. Wide is the standard, and that's that GoPro fisheye look. You'll see the edges curve like you're looking through a fisheye lens, and that's what GoPros normally look like. I really like linear when I'm shooting footage for my YouTube channel. Linear cuts off all that fisheye and gives you a little bit zoomed in and a nice standard video look. And of course, narrow would be narrower, and super view is really good for motorcycle and adventure use, because super view gives you really a 4x3 with a stretched side edge. You get more of that fisheye, but you get a real good up and down view on your camera. Hyper Smooth is the new image stabilization for our GoPro 8, and it starts off in high, and again, that's really good image stabilization. It does do some cropping to allow for all that movement on the edge of the screen. Boost would be the most cropping, but with the best image stabilization. On gives you just a little bit of cropping with decent stabilization, and then off would be just full view of the lens with no stabilization. Low light, when you're in the high frame rate regions, 60 frames per second or more, you can turn on low light, because at that frame rate you're really going to get a dark view. So at the higher frame rates you can turn on low light, and that will allow a little more brightness to be added to your footage in standard. Now, Pro Tune allows you to get everything set the way you want. Now, you've heard frames per second, but there's also bit rate. Adjusting your bit rate and your frames per second can really give you crisp, great action, great color combinations for the type of video you're doing. It is pretty advanced, but I got some really good news for you coming up here in just a second. Of course, shutter is an auto. Your EV compensation is set to 0. Your ISO min is 100. Your ISO max is 1600. Again, your ISO allows for that motion and a light capture. So if you're doing really fast, you may want to change your ISO. If you're doing just standard stationary objects, you'll get really good light compensation by changing your ISO. Again, everything's set to auto on GoPro manually, but there's some really cool features to allow the best performance of your camera. White balance is set to auto. Sharpness is high. Color is GoPro. That's GoPro's proprietary color scheme. Raw audio is off. Wind is auto, and that's wind compensation for the microphone. And you can reset Pro Tune and reset all these features. Now we have these shortcuts. Lower left is lens. Lower right is zoom. Upper left is slow-mo. Upper right is hyper smooth. Again, those can all be configured. So that's setting up of your video settings. And of course, going to camera, you can adjust camera's photo, live burst, and night modes, which are all really cool features within the GoPro. And then here is something I'm super excited about, setting up live. If I click on this, this will allow us to live to Facebook or YouTube. First, you got to select the platform which you want to go on. You can select Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, RMTP, and of course I use YouTube. And we can set up our live, allow you, oh yeah, I got it. You can allow YouTube to get permissions, or GoPro to get permissions. I want to continue. It's going to go to my accounts. I'm going to click on my RidgeLife account. And this will allow GoPro to do all the good stuff, which I allow. All right, to set up your live after you've connected, you just set your network, share to, we're going to share to public or unlisted. You put your description on there, resolution. Now this is the cool one. 1080p is recommended to be under Wi-Fi, but we can select 1080p for live streaming now. Before, you're always limited to 720. We can save to the SD card while we're live streaming, or you just make it save to the live stream only. Again, I'm connected to my RidgeLife account, which I hope everyone goes to and subscribes to while you're there. Click the like for this video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified anytime us at RidgeLife put up new videos, because we put out all kinds of cool stuff. One of the best new features of GoPro Hero 8 is this right here, new custom presets. Previously, when you wanted to adjust your ISO, your frame rate, your color tuning, all that stuff, you had to adjust them individually each time. And so most people just kept it on auto, and auto doesn't do that good a job for GoPro. Yeah, if you're going to take out and do a family reunion or something, yeah, it's fine. But if you're doing a YouTube channel, or you really want some high quality video for your content, you want to be able to set these presets. So what it is you can set 10 presets. And you can set your color gradient, you can set your ISO, and once you've set those, and I recommend going online, watching YouTube channels for all these different presets to get professional quality video out of your GoPro Hero 8, and you'll have them preset, 10 different ones, and you'll be shooting professional quality video from your GoPro for applied to the type of video you're recording. So if you're on a motorcycle, you can have your motorcycle preset, and it's got, the high frame rate, it's got the perfect view angle set up. Or if you're doing portraits of people, or if you're doing landscape, or if you're doing very slow motion photography, all those things can be set up as presets on your GoPro, and you are filming like a professional. That is an amazing thing. So I am super pumped to have this GoPro Hero 8. One of the last things I like to talk about on the GoPro is this front display. It just gives you basic information, your SD card status, your battery status, your amount of time recorded or pictures taken, your megapixel settings, your wide angle, just your field of view, all that good stuff. It's just basic look at right there. Of course, all the detailed information is on the back. Again, touch sensitive. I mentioned earlier in the video, one of the first things I'm going to do is put on the screen protectors for our GoPro Hero 8, since I can't change that lens out if I get it cracked. I'm going to do a review, an unboxing of some screen protectors I purchased for our GoPro Hero 8. And one other thing I'm going to do is do an unboxing and review of some non-GoPro batteries and chargers. They say they're fully compatible with the GoPro Hero 8. They've got the blue little tab on the battery, but I'm really curious if it allows the Hypersmooth to be used, because Hypersmooth 2.0 is something I really want to use in this GoPro on my motorcycle. So if the new batteries don't allow GoPro Hypersmooth 2.0, I'm going to be a little bit upset, even though they said they're fully compatible. We'll see, so you'll see videos on that coming up very soon. That's it for the unboxing and basic review of our GoPro Hero 8 adventure camera. We're really excited about getting this thing out in the field and taking a bunch of footage with it on a motorcycle, around the pond, around the barn, around the chickens, and just do some really cool things with it. Hopefully you'll come back to our channel here at RidgeLife and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch what we got going on. And until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day. Go RidgeLife.